Kirk Cousins is going to Atlanta. He has signed with the Falcons on a 4-year, $180 million deal. It gives him basically $45 million per year, $100 million of it guaranteed. First, no one's going to accuse Kirk Cousins of not knowing how to get his money. The man is going to make more money than most professional football players in the history of the league. Good on him. And I'm not surprised by this move. We've all seen it coming here for basically a week or so now. The reports were out there. It felt last year, 2023, like that was Minnesota's last year with Kirk Cousins. They were kind of committed to that being their last run with him, send him off, and then move on at the quarterback position, see what Kevin O'Connell can do. Obviously, the Achilles injury derailed what was turning into a good season. Started out rocky, turned it around. Kirk Cousins is a really good quarterback. There was a time where he was kind of looked poorly upon, but he kind of, I don't even want to use the term resurrected his career, but brought it into a new light once he was with Kevin O'Connell, once they made that playoff run with Minnesota. The Netflix show Quarterback, you saw another side of him. The general public started to like him a little bit more. Kirk Cousins is a top 10 to 12 quarterback in the league. And in the NFC South, that's good enough to definitely win that division. The only competition the Falcons have for that division is Tampa Bay because, I'm sorry, I'm off on the Saints. I kind of bought into them last year, even though I think Dennis Allen is a disaster of a coach. I'm not going to fall for it again this season. So the division, the NFC South, is between the Falcons and the Bucs. This is one of those deals that I genuinely understand both sides of. If I am Minnesota, would I have given a 36-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles injury 4 years, $180 million, 100 of it guaranteed? No, I wouldn't have done it. So I understand Minnesota. I think Minnesota probably wanted to make a deal with Kirk Cousins, probably put him on a 1-year deal, maybe say, hey, let's play out 1 more year, maybe 2, see what you look like after this injury, and then we can go our separate ways. Kirk Cousins obviously didn't want to do that. He doesn't know what he's going to look like after this injury. So he wants to get his bag of cash. Atlanta, older owner, bringing in a new head coach, and Raheem Morris trying to change the culture, change the image of the franchise. I live in Alabama. The Atlanta Falcons have been a joke most of my entire lifetime, except for that, Super Bowl run with Dan Quinn and Kyle Shanahan. They loved Matt Ryan, but expectations were never super high. So finally, they get a quarterback they can rely on. The bottom line, Atlanta could not go into the 2024 season with Desmond Ridder as their starting quarterback. It was not an option. They should have moved off Desmond Ridder last year for Taylor Heineke. The man is a horrible quarterback. They had to make a decision. I don't blame them for making this move. Do I think it's wise to give a 36-year-old quarterback 4 years, $180 million? No, but I understand their predicament, and they believe adding Kirk Cousins immediately makes them arguably the favorite for the NFC South, and they wouldn't be wrong. You bring in Kirk Cousins, you've got Drake London, a really talented receiver. Kyle Pitts, it would be kind to say the jury's still out on, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. You can easily win this division, win a playoff game or two. You do not need Patrick Mahomes to win playoff games, to make a deep playoff run in the NFC. We've seen that year in and year out. So the Atlanta Falcons immediately make themselves more relevant than they would have been. On the other end of the coin, Minnesota is now looking for a quarterback. I imagine they had contingencies in plan. I imagine they were prepared for this. Where do they go for here? Are they going to be in a position to draft one? Are they going to be able to put a package together to move up in the draft and get one? I suspect they have done their due diligence on all the quarterbacks in this draft. Is there anyone they're in love with to go and grab? Kevin O'Connell is a really, really good football coach. He has a smart and strong offensive mind. Who can he bring into the fold to execute his offense? I think there's a lot of possible solutions out there. And you're not going to look at a guy like Justin Fields or anything like that. Could they go draft Bo Nix? Could they get J.J. McCarthy? Do they feel like they could be comfortable bringing in one of those guys, starting them right away? Will they even be able to get one of those guys? We will see. The future is up in the air in Minnesota, and the future for the Falcons, they think, is bright. But we're going to see what Kirk Cousins looks like coming off the Achilles injury. He's not a very mobile quarterback, so that should mitigate that. But it's going to be interesting. A big move by the Atlanta Falcons. I don't blame them for chasing it. I don't blame Minnesota for saying, sorry, too rich for our blood.